at Guns America. We are at the 2025 SIG NEXT event. I've got Josh here, and we're going to talk about this AR-10 that's sitting here in front of us. This is called the 6.8 high. As you can guess from the name, this takes the 6.8 Fury, or high pressure round. It's an 80,000 PSI round that the military next gen weapon system has adopted. It was developed for that. It's been around for a few years. It's got that hybrid case that has the stainless steel, but it's a lot more pressure. And so we're going to be asking Josh about what they did to this AR-10 in order to make it handle that high pressure. But before we do that, I just want to quickly run you through the gun. We have a M-LOK free float handguard on here. The gas block is not fully finished yet. There will be a cutout window here so you can access the gas block when it's done. I did shoot this gun, and it shoots very soft. You would never guess you're shooting like Magnum style cartridge out of this gun. It used a traditional AR-10 style charging handle, has a buffer system in it, but that's where we're going to get into kind of, hey, what else is going on here? And it is fully ambi. You can drop the bolt from both sides or lock it open from either side. So that's the quick rundown of its basic AR-10, but it shoots high pressure rounds. So Josh is going to tell us about the steel, the bolt. What do you want to tell us? What's the story here? How did you do this? Why is this different than any other AR-10 that you just dropped a different barrel in?
Absolutely, yeah. So thanks for having me, and thanks for coming out here today. Excited to talk about the hype. When we set out to do this, you know, obviously the 6.8 was what we wanted to target. We wanted to make the most durable AR-10 on the planet. Was kind of like our mission statement of this product. Okay. And the way that we achieve that is through lessons that we've learned through other products. Obviously, fielding the 6.8 ammo and having the M7 spear, we know how to do it, but we said, how do I do that in a lighter weight gun, you know, a DI gun, so it's a little bit more cost friendly than that piston driven system. So we said
it weighs a lot less.
Weighs a lot less, right? So how do we do that? Well, we've already done it once. What are we going to do this time? So some of the features that make it durable enough, right, is we've got some advanced metallurgy in our barrel material and our bolt and our barrel extension that builds to withstand those high pressure.
Okay, so I'm not gonna let you off quite that easy. So advanced metallurgy, what does that mean? Like, what are we talking about? What is this? Is there a name for this kind of steel? Like, is there a pressure spec? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so the pressure spec is what I can get into.
Okay.
We're not gonna unveil all of our secrets.
That's fair.
You know, I don't kiss and tell. We're just gonna go ahead and give you some of the stuff. So what we've spec'd this up to, right, through Sammy, is we're going to our proof loads are actually up to 120 KSI. Okay. So 80 KSI is cakewalk for this, right? It's not a problem. And some of that material, right, it's not anything crazy new space age. It's just a special alloy material that's built to withstand that high pressure.
Okay, so that's the barrel is made out of that?
The barrel, the bolt, and the barrel extension. Okay. Those are the only ones that have that unique material.
So if we were to pull this bolt out, the bolt itself, the bolt face, not the carrier, but the bolt face itself is made out of the same material that the barrel is made of.
Correct.
Otherwise, it's going to look like a standard AR-10 style bolt.
Yep, it looks like an AR-10 style bolt. Okay. With the exception of one of the things that we do that's unique to SIG, and we do it across, you know, 5.16, MCX, the hype, the spear. So traditional AR-15s and AR-10s have a flat lug, so a 90-degree lug. So when you do that, when you have a straight, sharp edge on that corner, that becomes a huge stress riser in high pressure areas. Okay. So what we do is we have our tapered lug. So when you look at that lug, it kind of curves down, and there's a radius right there. And what that does is, if you've ever seen a broken AR bolt, right, it always breaks at the lug, at the base where it meets the round part of the bolt. Giving that taper gives it some more structural integrity to withstand that pressure. So that's a big part of it, as well as the geometry, as well as the material. Okay. Okay. So go ahead. So some other awesome things that we did to make it durable, right? We couldn't just stop there at the barrel. One of the big things that we did, and I'll turn the gun around here on you. So we've got this cam path insert. Okay. So it's often underlooked, but the reason we have a cam path insert is when you have on most AR-15s, AR-10s, you've got a steel cam pin riding on an aluminum surface. Right? That wears in, your receiver gets all gouged up, your gun runs too fast, you know, you might get some reliability issues. So we wanted to add steel where it matters, right? Where the benefit of steel is. I don't want to make a whole steel receiver, but I want some steel. Now you've got steel right there. So now I've got steel right here. It's replaceable. Not that you need to, because now it's steel, not aluminum. So I've got steel on steel contact.
Okay.
We also have a feed ramp insert. It's kind of tough to see, but if you kind of zoom in here, you can see the little piece right here.
Okay.
So that's a feed ramp insert, and it's what goes into your extension. So that is also reinforced with steel, so you're not wearing out the feed surfaces going in to get some increased reliability.
Okay.
Now the real secret sauce and the reliability, and you mentioned it, the recoil, it shoots soft.
Yeah,
You're kind of shocked,
really
right?
soft, yeah.
So the real secret sauce there is in the firing pin latch. So AR-10s conventionally, you know, across the industry, AR-10s have always had a problem with what they call a slam fire. So a slam fire, you put a round in the chamber, no magazine in, you send the bolt home, carrier comes forward, and there's enough inertia that the firing pin is able to strike the primer.
Because it floats inside
Because
the
that
bolt.
firing pin's floating, right? So the way, right, that's a problem across all AR-10s. The way that the industry has always overcome that is by underspringing the buffer in the carrier system, right? If I have a little less spring force, I'm not gonna send that as much inertia forward.
Okay.
Now, there's a downside to that. It's a trade-off, right?
Yep.
The trade-off for that is now I have less force stripping the round out of the magazine to feed that, you know, round into the chamber.
Okay.
And I don't have a heavy spring there, so now I'm dealing with a little bit more recoil, right? So what we did is we incorporated a firing pin latch. If you're familiar with the MCX line, the MCX LT line, you've got that side latch.
Yep.
And we have a spring-loaded firing pin. So that firing pin now cannot move, whether it's dropped, whether it's, you know, slam fire scenario. That firing pin isn't going to move until that hammer comes up and engages it.
So you're able to run a lot heavier spring and buffer.
So that's what I can do
without having to worry about a slam fire.
So that small thing that I think people are going to overlook unlocked the capability for us to now make a properly sprung AR-10. What that does for us is that recoil, it helps, and then the big thing is on your reliability. When this gun's dirty, dusty,
you know, a lot more
spring force feeding that round in.
Okay, that's what we want to know about. Appreciate the information. When is this going to be available? Do you know?
Yep. So this one we're targeting right around August.
Okay, perfect. Okay, man, appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, make sure you like, subscribe, and share for more videos from SIG Next.